Welcome to week 5 on plant-based meal prep. Just do it. I want to give you some actionable items to help encourage you to go ahead and just get it done. I'm not the most traditional when it comes to meal prep because I just don't like it. I mean, I like having the food ready, but at the same time, when the week goes by, I don't even want to eat what it is I made. Like my mind changed, I'm feeling like something else. So I've felt like that down the road and practicing the meal prep that I decided I'm going to do it a different way. And so I want to share that with you today. So it doesn't have to be complicated and it doesn't have to be very time consuming. Let's make a doable, flexible, and simple approach so that you actually get it done. So personally, I like to prep just a few ingredients to give myself a head start. So this is like a meal prep head start instead of making all the meals. So there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can prep everything for the week, put it in containers, store it in your refrigerator for the week, or you can cook for the month or whatever you'd like to do. And then you have those meals just ready to go. That's not the best approach for me personally, and it's not been sustainable. But what I have liked to do, like when I'm cooking, whenever I cook, I make a little bit extra. Well, actually, if I'm honest, I make too much extra. And then those extra meals, I make those plates, I guess you could say, and put them in the freezer. Some of them have my son's name on it. And then when I see him, I haul all this food up there. But it also gives me an opportunity to have something that I made that I really like. And I had an extra serving of it or two. And so I do that every time. And before the month is over, I have so many meals prepped. And so it gives you just something to have on hand in case of an emergency, or if somebody stops by and you're like, oh, well, let's have this or let's have that. And then you don't really have to go out to eat. So, but what I like to do is prep just a few ingredients and use them in multiple meals throughout the week. So last week I was talking about tacos and how you could do your taco prep. Well, some of those ingredients you could use throughout the week, and one day make tacos, next day make enchiladas, next day make taco salad. There's a lot of things you can do. So whether you're super busy or you're new to plant-based eating, or you just want to eat healthier without spending a whole lot of hours in the kitchen, I think this method would work for you. It's just a matter of which items you want to make. So let's see. I would say this particular way of doing it is kind of a mindset shift. You want to keep it simple and keep it flexible. You don't need to I can't even talk today. You don't need to prep entire meals. Just focus on some really versatile base ingredients that you can mix and match. So if you want to practice getting out of your perfectionist mindset, which that's something that I have a problem with sometimes. I'm like, okay, if I want to do this, I have to do it this way. But you know what? We give ourselves a headache doing that. You don't need to color code anything. It doesn't have to be gourmet level. You just make a few things and have them on hand to make your life easier throughout the week. So the 80-20 rule, prep only the ingredients that would make the biggest impact for you. So if it's something that takes a long time to cook, like for instance, you want to use dried beans because they're the most cost effective, then you would cook those beans and have them on hand because they take a couple of hours to make. You have that soaking process and then you have the cooking process, and you have to do all you can to add all the flavor. So you could do that in a crock pot or a pressure cooker to save some time, but it still takes a good bit of time to do that. So here's the core 4 meal prep strategy. Number 1, you want to prep a protein. You want to prep a grain or a starch, a veggie base, and then maybe a salad or a dressing. So for your protein on your plant-based journey, you could use lentils or chickpeas or tofu or tempeh or seitan. So some of these things sound the same as we were taking these classes over and over. You're becoming more familiar with them as you're practicing. So then we have our grain or starch. So you could do quinoa, brown rice, sweet potato, roasted potatoes. So the roasting process, you can do that ahead of time and then have those things on hand. I just want to point out, whatever it is you're making, it has a 7-day shelf life. You don't want to keep anything for the following week. So by the 5th, 6th, or 7th day, if you know you're not going to have it, you can go ahead and put those items in a meal prep container and put those in the freezer for another day. All right, so for your veggie base, you could use raw veggies or shredded cabbage or greens or whatever you can think of, whatever greens or veggie you want to use. And then for your sauce, you could use a tahini-based dressing or cashew dressing, salsa, or a vinaigrette. So why don't we choose these 4 things? There's so many things that you can do with it, and this has really freed me up. Like, okay, if I have these things on hand, I can throw this or that together. So first, you have bowls or combos. You can throw prepped grains in a bowl. You can choose one of those proteins, get your veggies, and then you could do a dressing. Already easy because you have some things on hand already. Everything's already cooked or has a short time left to cook. And then you have your wraps and tacos, as we talk about, because that's my favorite go-to. You can use tortilla. You can use nori sheets as a wrap. You can use collard greens as a wrap. The only thing I do different with the collard green, I boil some water, sit it in there, and just let it sit a few minutes to kind of make it flexible. And then you can easily use that as your wrap. My boys love the, when we do like, oh, I can't even think of the name of it, like sushi roll. Kind of like sushi. It reminds you of sushi. You put all the same things you put in there, just the vegetables and bean sprouts and things like that. And then you wrap it and then you have a dipping sauce. Also, you can do stir fries and scrambles. So you heat everything up in one pan. So if you have all these ingredients either prepped or cooked, then you can throw everything together in a stir fry, or you can do some type of scramble. So I love potato base in a scramble and stir fries, all the vegetables on top of some rice if you eat rice, and then whatever kind of dressing you like. Another thing you could do is soups and curries. You can throw all kinds of ingredients in a broth or a coconut milk base and have a really great soup. If you're having breads and things like that, you can throw together some toasted non-bread, vegan naan, or rolls or something like that if you love that with your soups. All right, so then you have salads and sandwiches, which are all easy. I usually use salads and sandwiches as my lunch or snack type of meal. So that's really easy. And again, if you have all these things on hand, it makes it super easy. You really don't need a recipe for this stuff. Just individual ingredients, and then you're going to make it your own by what kind of dressing and how you combine these things together. So I would say use a formula that fit your craving and something that fits your schedule. For your no recipe meal prep guide, you can put these things on a 3-day rotation and then have them all over again. So what I like to do is have things maybe 2 days and then 2 days. And then Friday I'll have a mixture or whatever's in the refrigerator. I might make a stir fry or a salad or something like that. So for example, Monday, if you did a chickpea quinoa roasted pepper tahini sauce, then Tuesday you could do a tofu scramble with sweet potatoes and spinach and salsa. And then Wednesday you could have lentil tacos, brown rice, slaw, and avocado dressing. And then you could start Thursday with the chickpea variation of the quinoa roasted vegetables again. All right, so How is it that we get into pitfalls, and what are some easy fixes for it? One is overcomplicating things. You could just start with one or two things. Have your grain ready, or have the protein ready. As we said, maybe a bean, maybe a rice of some kind, and have it already cooked. And then plan your meals around that for the week, or at least for the first 3 days. So sometimes I get into, by Wednesday, either I feel like I want to cook something, or I'm feeling like I don't want something that I have on hand. So I may cook on a Sunday and then on a Wednesday. You may get bored with the same meals, but if you think about some of the things and habits that we have, you might go to Chick-fil-A, or used to go to Chick-fil-A 2 or 3 times a week, every week on such and such a day. And then it never fails that you want to go on a Sunday and they're closed. Some people have Fridays, they want this fried thing, or they want pizza on this day. And so if you look at your natural habits that you've created over time, you're probably eating the same things over and over anyway. So we just have to get creative, right? So switch up the seasoning, add a new sauce to keep it lively and something that you are looking forward to having. One pitfall is not eating what you prep. You make the food that you actually enjoy, and you don't keep it visible. It might be in the back of the refrigerator. Like I said, you might get bored with it. But a lot of times you have newfound things in the refrigerator because they were pushed to the back somehow. You're like, oh my goodness, I didn't know we had this. I didn't know we had that. Or I forgot I had this, or I forgot I had that. So be mindful. Don't overcrowd your refrigerator and have so many things in there that things are spoiling, or you don't get around to them. And then now you have to throw it away after you spent all of that time. All right, so let's, our little challenge, let's look at picking 2 or 3 things this week or next week, and keep it simple. I want you to share your wins. You can always use the internet to help you figure out what it is you want. I would say, as we're transitioning, look at some things that you enjoy that you're wanting to transition to plant-based, and pick 2 or 3 things, and pick 2 or 3 days of the week. If you're going to eat plant-based and we're transitioning, you're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, go ahead and plan for that, and choose the items right now. Now, based on those things, what can you make from what you mentioned? I've given you a few ideas. I'd love to hear about all of the ideas that you guys come up with. And I just want to encourage you not to overthink so much. Think in terms of making sure that you have something on hand, because typically you're going to get hungry and you're going to find your way to the grocery store or find your way through some drive-through if you're not prepared. So if you have these things at home already, then you're more likely to go ahead and tell the kids, we have food at home. They want McDonald's, we have McDonald's at home. Do you have McDonald's money? No, you don't have McDonald's money. This is not what we're doing. And we have some not chicken nuggets at home. So go ahead and make sure that you fill out a plan, write it down, go ahead and prep, have your refrigerator cleaned out so that you're ready. So just remember, your quick meal prep ingredients are going to lead you to bowl combos, wraps and tacos, stir fries and scrambles, soups and curries, and salads and sandwiches. What I like to do is write that out like just in a list, and then give myself some ideas of what I can make. What kind of bowls can I make? What kind of wraps can I make? What kind of stir fries can I make? What are those ingredients that I want to have on hand? Don't do them all at one time, and don't try to cook all of these different things in one week. So Mondays might be, I don't know, sandwich day. Tuesdays might be your Taco Tuesday. Wednesday, you might do a stir fry. Thursday, you might do a soup. Friday, you might do salad and sandwich, or soup and salad, or something like that, depending on the weather. So just play with it. Have a good time. Don't make this hard on yourself. And you're going to find that when you're in the kitchen, you're like, oh, normally it takes me this long to prepare whatever it is, but I already have my beans ready. I already have my rice ready. I already have my knot meat. All I have to do is take a few minutes and saute this, and dinner's going to be ready in 15 or 20 minutes. So hang in there. You got this. And in a minute, it's going to be second nature. All right, so let's put on some action and let's just do it with your meal prep. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time.